Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Weather Desk. Craig is out today. Well, he's actually at Harborfest this morning and this afternoon, so I am taking over for the Weather Desk today. And we have a lot of good things to talk about like we normally do. Of course, we have some severe weather that has been going on through portions of the Midwest. Texas, Kansas was seeing a lot of severe weather, some flooding. We saw tornadoes in portions of New Mexico, but severe storms across the U.S. today heading into the weekend. But not only out west, but also here in Hampton Roads, we have the chance to see some of those severe storms rolling through. We have an update on the Canada wildfires that have just been ravaging portions of Canada. And we have some space things that we're going to talk about, some cool space things. Going to talk about some meteors that are going to be going by. And we have a tropics update a little bit and the Harborfest forecast for here in Hampton Roads this weekend. So let's take a look at what we could talk about. Just my clicker is being a little bit slow, so I'm going to see if we could take these graphics full and see if I could get these graphics to continue to go towards the we just have to push this here, and then as we do this, we will be getting it up and going in just a moment. My bad, everybody. Oh, got it. Okay, so there we go. We are back in business. Sorry, everybody. It was just taking a moment to load. But as we take a look at what's our first topic, the U.S. And Hampton Roads severe weather threat for our day today. So as we take a look at us here in Hampton Roads, we have a strong thunderstorm threat as we head into our Saturday evening here in Hampton Roads. So we do have a weather impact alert for our Saturday evening for some gusty winds, hail, some downpours, not out of the question. So it's just one of those weekends where you want to keep an eye on the forecast and make sure you're watching the radar just in case, you're off and about, you're at Harborfest and a storm is heading your way, whether it's severe or not. You don't want to get caught under a heavier downpour because that can put a damper on your day, no pun intended, but also you don't want to get in a thunderstorm, even if it's not severe, because of that lightning, which could also be dangerous. As we take a look at the severe threats for our Saturday, damaging winds, hail, that tornado threat is low. So that's the good news there. But let's take a look at our satellite and radar. Not seeing a whole bunch of rain, throughout the United States, seeing a little bit around Minneapolis, up in northern Michigan, a few areas around here. Pennsylvania, New York, a severe thunderstorm watch in areas around Arkansas and Oklahoma, but a lot of rain over the last couple of days has been going on in areas around Kansas, and flash flooding drenched south central Kansas, leading officials to issue a state of disaster emergency earlier this week. This is a new video of firefighters rescuing a Wichita driver from high water. Sedgwick County emergency personnel responded to roughly 200 submersion calls. As the rain slows down today, roadways are opening back up, but there are still some areas that could see flooding. If you are in that area, please do not pass barricades or emergency vehicles. Of course, always remember, turn around, don't drown. You never know exactly how deep those roadways are when water is over them. So, of course, it's always important to remember, turn around, don't drown. You don't want to get stuck. You don't want your car to be stalled out in the water and just have to go through insurance and maybe get a new car, a new engine. You don't want to risk it. You just want to find an alternate route if you can. As we zoom in here, we have this low pressure system that's slowly pushing off the coast here in Hampton Roads. We saw some rain earlier this morning, a chance for an isolated shower as we go through the afternoon, but overall things should be looking pretty good today. But it's this system off towards our west that is a stalled front right now, a stationary front, but eventually expected to push through our area as a cold front. That could trigger some of those severe storms as we head into the day on Saturday. But for Friday, today, the severe weather threat is more off towards our west and even up into New England, a big swath of severe weather threats throughout the day today, from New England all the way over to Colorado and New Mexico, even a level 3 threat for areas around Texas, Colorado, Kansas, portions of Oklahoma as well, and a big level 2 threat for the areas around Kentucky, Tennessee, down into Arkansas, Oklahoma, over towards New Mexico and Colorado. But for us today, not expecting any severe weather. Different story on Saturday. We are back into a level 2 threat for most of us here in Hampton Roads. So could see some hail, some heavy downpours. And even on Sunday, we are back into a level 2 threat as well. So over the last month or so, especially all of May, we have been seeing severe threat after severe threat after severe threat. Even now heading into June, looking like that pattern is continuing for us here. The good news is the tornado threat for both days in Hampton Roads is low, but out towards the west for today, that tornado threat a little bit elevated as we head into the day, but it's not looking like it'll be a major tornado outbreak. That's the good news, but you could see a few isolated tornadoes, in areas around Denver down into Lubbock, Texas, but that 10% chance for areas around Wichita and Memphis. Hail outlook for the day today is pretty large in areas around Texas, over towards Kansas and portions of Denver. Could see some hail 2 inches in diameter in a few areas, so that's bigger than that quarter. You could see some ping pong sized hail, golf ball sized hail, even up to baseball sized hail. I remember yesterday I was watching the Weather Channel, of course, and they were already seeing hail, 3 to 4 inches, just radar indicated. So just some big hail. But over the next couple of days, we're going to continue to see just rain after rain for the same areas. Not washouts, but you see these on and off showers and downpours. And that's what we're going to see here. Heading into Saturday, a few showers possible in the morning, but overall, it's not until Saturday afternoon where we'll see some more showers and storms starting to roll through for us here. And then as we get into Sunday, kind of the same deal. So zooming in a bit as we take a look at our Friday afternoon, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s. By the time we get into the evening, things are looking good here. Temperatures dropping back into the lower 70s for our Friday night. Again, could see some showers as we head into early Saturday morning, but overall, waking up Saturday, going to be mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s by the time we get into the middle part of the morning. But you'll notice some of these showers and storms rolling through around 1, 2, 3 o'clock. But we're dry in the morning, a bit of a break, and then a chance for another round as we head into our Saturday night. So you have some breaks here and there throughout the day on Saturday. Sunday, some showers and storms rolling through in the early morning. These could have some gusty winds. You'll see kind of a bowing to this storm here. That can kind of mean that you're going to see some gusty winds with some of these storms. So that's just something to keep in mind. But then we dry out for the middle and end of the morning. Could see some storms up towards the north, but by the early evening, we see more showers and storms starting to roll through, lingering into Sunday night, and then things looking a bit better heading into early Monday morning. But for Saturday, again, that tornado outlook is low, or pretty much zero for us here in Hampton Roads. So that's the good news here. But we also have the chance to maybe see some hail, not huge hail, maybe an inch in diameter, which would be the size of a quarter. And if you do see hail an inch in diameter within a thunderstorm, then that causes that storm to become severe. You have to have winds 55 miles per hour or higher with hail greater than an inch or either or. But that hail outlook really just down from Hampton down into Norfolk, Elizabeth City over towards Edenton. But as we take a look at our futurecast rainfall for the next couple of days, anywhere from a half an inch to maybe an inch. Could see a few more or higher amounts in areas that see these heavier downpours for a longer period of time. But overall, not expecting a whole bunch of rain as we head into our Sunday night. Also want to give you an update as we switch gears here on the Canada wildfires. I know they've just been wreaking havoc in areas around Canada, making the air quality, worse for a lot of areas around the United States. And we've been keeping you updated every day on the wildfires burning in Canada. Right here on the weather desk, more than 25,000 residents in 3 provinces have been evacuated as dozens of wildfires spread across this area and diminished air quality in parts of Canada and the U.S. Most of the evacuated residents were from Manitoba, which declared a state of emergency last week. Right now, there's 27 wildfires burning in Manitoba, and there have been 111 fires so far this year, according to officials.
As of today, there are 27 wildfires burning in Manitoba. We have had 111 fires to date. We have a number of fires that are in close proximity to communities, and all of these are considered out of control at this time. There is precipitation in the forecast on the weekend for some areas of Manitoba, including areas where we have fires in the northwest as well as the east. At this time, those precipitation amounts are pretty variable and uncertain. So I'd like to remind Manitobans that just because you might see a blob of rain on that precipitation map, that's not going to be enough to put out these fires. We will continue to be working on these fires for some time to come, but it certainly will help us to make good progress.
And in some parts of the U.S., air quality reached unhealthy levels, including in North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Minnesota. To check your area's air quality, you can use the Air Now app on your phone, which comes from the EPA, used to track how the smoke is traveling. But yeah, let's take a look at the air quality out there right now and the smoke from these wildfires. It's looking like over the next couple of days, we're going to see a bit of that smoke seeping down into areas around Michigan, over even into New England, especially northern Maine, seeing a lot of heavy smoke over there. But from Iowa over to Wisconsin, Chicago getting in on that, Michigan, portions of Pennsylvania over to Vermont and New Hampshire, Ohio. Good news is down in Hampton Roads, not expecting much in the way of any issues from the smoke from these wildfires. But if we take a look at the air quality throughout the United States, a lot of green over here, and then you'll notice where that smoke was, a lot of yellow, a lot of orange, even some reds around Chicago. You guys are unhealthy for sensitive groups or even just unhealthy in general for anybody. Same around New York, New England, New York City, where this population is huge. You guys have moderate air quality, but some areas unhealthy for sensitive groups and even unhealthy for, anyone doing their day-to-day lifestyle. So that's what that smoke is doing around these areas. It just, contributes to just an unhealthy, air quality index. But it's not just all the way towards the north. It's down into Florida. It's into Tennessee. Around here in Norfolk, we're at a moderate to good level, so that's the good news. But all the way over here on the West Coast, air quality looking much, much better. But we're going to take another turn today, and we're going to talk about some space things, some space news. You may want to keep an eye to the sky this weekend. The air-tide meteor shower reaches its peak tomorrow. This is a strong daytime meteor shower that can produce a significant number of meteors, sometimes up to 200 per hour at peak activity. But most of these are hidden by the sun's brightness during the daytime. So here's how you can try to catch a glimpse. To maximize your chances of seeing some activity, look towards the eastern horizon in a dark area away from city lights. You want to start looking early in the morning, just before the sunrise, when the sky is still relatively dark. And look for meteors moving away from the radiant. Well, that's some pretty cool stuff. That's something to look forward to. So earlier in the morning, tomorrow morning, let's take a look at what we could see in terms of cloud cover. It's looking like out towards the west, things will be looking much better. East Coast, probably not going to be great for seeing some of those meteors. But overall, a few areas, maybe around Texas, the Four Corners area, could be seeing some of those meteors as we head into tomorrow morning. But also, lastly, about any of that space stuff, if you've ever felt like a star, scientifically, you technically are. That's pretty cool. Scientists confirm that humans are indeed made of, quote unquote, star stuff. NASA astrophysicist Dr. Brian Williams explains how.
Well, the important thing to understand about this question is that it's not an analogy, it's literally true. The elements in our bodies, the elements that make up our bones, the trees we see outside, the other planets in the solar system, other stars in the galaxy, these were all part of stars that existed well before our sun and earth and solar system were even formed. The universe existed for billions of years before we did. And all of these elements that you see on a periodic table, you see carbon and oxygen and silicon and iron, the common elements throughout the universe, were all put there by previous generations of stars that either blew off winds like the sun blows off a solar wind, or exploded in supernova explosions and thrust their elements throughout the universe. These are the same things that we can trace with modern telescopes like the Hubble telescope and the James Webb Space Telescope, the Chandra X-ray Observatory. These are all elements that we can map out in the universe with these observatories and trace back to the same things that form us. And the elemental abundances that we see in stars now are the same things that we see in the Earth's crust, we see in asteroids. And so we know that these are the same elements that were once part of these stars. So the question of how are we made of star stuff, in the words of Carl Sagan, the cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself.
Now that's some pretty cool stuff, that we're made up of some stars. But as we take a look here at the Harborfest weekend in Hampton Roads, not looking as cool as kind of being like a star. It's not going to be a star weekend. It's not going to be the worst. Not going to be like a black hole of a weekend, but we do have the chance to see an isolated shower or two this morning into the early afternoon. Overall, Friday, not bad. 81 degrees. Saturday, waking up dry. As we head into the morning, looking dry as well. It's not until the afternoon and evening where we see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not going to be raining all afternoon and evening, but kind of that on and off scenario, and could be, on and off longer than an hour or two. But you have that chance to see some of those storms rolling through, some of which could be strong to severe. 87 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be hot. 84 on Sunday. And for Sunday, not looking, terrible either, but some showers and storms possible in the early morning, and by mid-morning, we're drying out. But by later into the evening, some more showers and storms starting to roll through. So a big chunk of the day on Sunday even not looking too bad. But if you go to the Harborfest on Saturday afternoon and evening, have a chance to see some of those showers and storms. If you go on Saturday in the morning, things would be, I think, looking a bit better for you. As we take a live look outside right now in our Thompson Creek Window Company sky view, it's a cloudy start to our day, 74 degrees. Those winds are calm, but it is muggy with dew points in the upper 60s right now. 69 degrees for that dew point. 74 in Norfolk, 73 in Elizabeth City, and 75 in Edenton out there right now. 78 in Williamsburg. It's 71 in Wallops Island, 70 over in Roanoke Rapids. As we take a look at our futurecast over the next couple of days, or over the next couple of hours, we're going to see temperatures rising into the lower 80s. It'll be a little bit cooler closer to the coast, and maybe a chance for an isolated sprinkle, but overall, things looking great for our Friday afternoon if you do have any of those plans. Friday night, temperatures dropping back into the lower 70s. Overnight, early Saturday morning, a chance we could see some showers starting to roll through. But once we get into our Saturday morning, a dry start to the day. Temperatures already warm in the upper 70s to lower 80s. It's not until we get into the afternoon and our early evening we see some of these showers and storms starting to roll through, some of which could be strong to severe. And we see those kind of bubbling up, coming through, heading into our late Saturday evening and Saturday night as well, before things start to look better overnight Sunday. But another round of showers and storms coming through as we head into our Sunday morning. But then things starting to look better heading into late Sunday morning, even into the afternoon, before we see another round of showers Sunday night. But we do have the weather impact alert for the chance to see some strong to severe storms Saturday evening. Gusty winds, hail, downpours not out of the question. Tornado threat is slim to none. Can't 100% rule it out, but biggest threat would be the gusty winds, hail, and downpours. So, of course, since it's a busy weekend, there's a lot going on. You want to keep an eye to the forecast, keep looking at the radar. so you don't get caught in any of these situations. Let's do the hour by hour for the day tomorrow. Waking up dry, but in the afternoon and evening, isolated to scattered showers and storms. Weather impact starting again past about 3 o'clock for tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid to lower 80s for some of us. That severe weather threat, damaging winds, hail, that tornado threat is low, so that's the good news. But for today, not looking too bad. Lower 80s, 76 degrees in Norfolk, 76 in Virginia Beach, 81 in Norfolk, 84 in Wakefield, 83 degrees in Suffolk, 75 at Cape Charles, 76 in Malfa, 75 in Matthews, 77 in Hampton, 77 in Newport News. A little bit warmer in eastern North Carolina, 85 in Hertford, 85 in Gatesville, 85 in Edenton, 78 degrees down in Manio. For tonight, 70 degrees, partly cloudy skies, mild and a bit muggy as well. It's going to continue to stay muggy over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, much warmer, but we have those chance of some showers and storms. Upper 80s, 87 in Norfolk, 85 in Virginia Beach. A little bit cooler along the eastern shore, but not bad. Upper 70s to lower 80s. 79 in Matthews, 84 in Poquoson, 84 degrees in Newport News. Could be a bit hot in eastern North Carolina, upper 80s to around 90 degrees in a few areas. 90 in Hertford, 85 in Manio, 84 degrees in Kill Devil Hills. And as we take a look at the 10-day temperature trend, just going to continue to be warm and hot over the next couple of days. And those rain chances are going to be sticking around over the next couple of days, even into next week. Weather impact alert for the second half of Saturday. As we head into Sunday, morning thunderstorms are possible. Bulk of the day fine once we get past the mid-morning. Isolated showers possible on Monday. Scattered thunderstorms as we head into Tuesday. Same deal on Wednesday. So overall, a bit of an unsettled week ahead, but not going to be constantly raining the entire time. But it's just one of those days and weeks where you want to stay close to the radar just in case you don't want to get caught under, a heavy downpour or thunderstorm or even a severe thunderstorm. But that's it for the Weather Desk today. You can find me on social media. I appreciate that. The HarborFest 2025, again, will be on 13 News Now Plus. Daybreak will have What to Know. We have the noon parade of sail and 1 to 3 live coverage today. And remember that drone show is at 9:30 o'clock tonight. You can find me on social media, Meteorologist Hunter Forst, Instagram at Hunter Forst. I appreciate you joining me today and have a great day.